we'll go through and critique you on how I want you to put the thread on the machine. The thread comes over the top of the spool. This is backwards.
Okay.
Lay it on the spool pin holder with, this is a removable base. It's just basically being stored. The larger base is in tune with the larger spools of thread. Then cap off the spool of thread with the smaller cap. You will have 3. The one that I choose, that I really should be using, is smaller, and it's in your sealed envelope there. So I'm going to grab one here quick to show you that you need to gauge the size of the cap with the spool. Threading is done with 2 hands. Lay the thread over this finger, holding it with your right hand, and swing it around the nose. Go down through the tension, I don't care what side. When you get to this point here, this is your key to floss. This is not tension. This is called a new deluxe stitch system. It's a portioning system. What the straight line is your thread. What the 3 circles are 3 rollers that are pointed at you inside the machine. In order for the thread to get down in the rollers, you floss.
Okay.
That's all you need to do that's extra from any other threading you've done. Then continue around, catching it in the take-up arm here, right to left, straight down, and there I'm going to turn the hand wheel so you can see where I'm aimed. This clip is open on the side. Get your thread into the clip. The needle has to be as high as possible in order for the needle threader to pull down on top of it. Pull all the way down and you'll see the spring compress. That just pushed a hook into the back side of the needle. Now the thread's nice and tight. Lay it in that fork. Don't be clear out here with your thread. But as you let go, this little hook inside the needle threader just pulled the loop. Don't pull the tail, pull the loop all the way back, and it continues through the back side of the needle. The feet go off and on like so. This bar always fits into this clip.
Okay.
Place the thread under the foot, and you're ready to wind a bobbin. Any questions so far?
I now know how to use a soft threader on machines at school.
You didn't before?
I didn't.
They have a tendency to get bent if you use a smaller needle, and they have a tendency also to get kind of pushed to one side if your needle is down too low. What happens is it's made exactly to fit in the back side. So now what we're going to do is wind the bobbin. So what you do is load the bobbin with the thread first, going inside the cylinder and out of the hole, and about 6 inches from the top of the bobbin.
Okay.
Place it on the spindle, and check 2 things. Number 1, the thread needs to be under the foot.
Okay.
No exceptions. Number 2, the thread needs to be in the bridge.
Okay.
Pushing the bobbin winder start, you have your speedometer. And I never wind my bobbin as fast as it'll go. So I bring it down to a comfortable speed, and using my stylus, start, stop. I'm going to start it and fill the top shelf of the bobbin. And then I'm going to stop and clip this thread even with the top. And then continue on. I have options at this point. I can quit, or I can let the machine fill the bobbin for me. You don't have to have a full bobbin. You don't have to waste thread on a project that you may not use that color. But believe me, if it's white or black or navy, you're going to want to fill a few bobbins. To get the pop-up to go away, simply touch OK and put the bobbin winder back in the neutral position. Now at this point, I point out all the cutters you have on this machine. There's a cutter here. There's a cutter here. There's a cutter here. And you have a pair of scissors. So it's very, very handy so you don't have all these thread tails all over. Pick the bobbin up and slice. put this thread where it belongs, under the foot and out of your way. Any questions about that? Then, okay, stop me anytime because sometimes I go a little fast. Place the bobbin with so much thread to your left hand into the machine.
Well, I do have a question. What is the purpose of that top section? That top?
It will begin to grab your thread, and when there's sensors all over the place in this machine, and when it gets low, the sensors will tell you with a pop-up that you need to change your bobbin. That top area has about a yard of thread on it.
Okay.
You may waste that yard of thread, and I've had some customers say to me, it shows me that the bobbin's empty, and it's not. But what you save in all the thread tails is more than that yard that's left on that spool. I'd rather have it that way. Good question. The H that's on the top of the bobbin indicates the top, but you cannot put this bobbin in upside down.
Okay.
Drop it in so it lays comfortable inside the bobbin area, and right here in front there's an arrow, and that's kind of indicating where the thread drops down in a little chute there. You see that? Hold the bobbin still and listen for a click. That's your tension. There's a holder for the thread right here, and that cutter I was talking about is very sharp, so just lay the thread there and don't cut.
Okay.
You'll cut it after you get the cover put on. And this is 100% of the time, unless you're hand winding and doing bobbin work or lace work or tatting. But when you're doing regular sewing or embroidery, you'll do this 100% of the time.
Okay.
Just like that. There is no bobbin thread to come up. It has taken care of that immediately. So you don't have to turn the hand wheel, bring up the thread, cut it off, and have all that on your table.